She didn't hit you. She didn't call you names. She didn't do anything that you could point to on a police report. She just never made you feel safe. And somehow that is the wound you are still carrying into every room you walk in. Today, we're going to name it. Before we get into that, I'm Renisha, and if nobody has checked on you today, that's exactly why I'm here. Now, can I ask you something? Can we talk for a minute? Girl, I want to know your name. Well, if I could sing, I'd be dangerous. Do you ever find yourself anxious, but you can't tell me why? Like nothing's wrong. Your bills are paid, your kids are fine, you're saved, you go to church, you do the work, and you are still exhausted in a way that sleep has never fixed. And when somebody asks what happened to you, you're just like, nothing really. It wasn't that bad. I mean, she did the best she could. But your body tells a completely different story. Here's what I need you to understand by the end of this video. You don't need a dramatic, trauma-filled story in order to have a traumatized nervous system. Emotional neglect is real. The mother wound is real. And the anxiety you've been carrying, the hypervigilance, the people pleasing, the feeling like you're always braced for something, that didn't come from nowhere. It came from a home where you were fed, clothed, and possibly loved, but you never felt safe. And I need you to stay with me because by the time we're done, you're going to finally have language for what happened to you. And baby, language is the beginning of freedom. Now let's get into it. Listen, when most people think about a bad mother, they're thinking screaming, getting hit with what y'all used to get hit with, irons and extension cords, and somebody that should be on an episode of Dr. Phil. But emotional unavailability, it's quieter than that. It hides in plain sight. It hides behind women who kept the house clean, who showed up at recitals, who prayed every Sunday, and still left you feeling completely alone. So let me describe some things, and I want you to notice what happens in your body when I do. Sign number 1. She dismissed your feelings. You came to her hurting, and she gave you a chore. You cried and she told you to stop being so sensitive. You were scared and she said, you're fine. She wasn't trying to break you, but she was teaching you that your feelings were an absolute inconvenience. And you learned very quickly to stop having them out loud. Sign number 2, her moods ran the whole house. Baby, you learned to read a room before you learned to read a book. You could tell by the way she put down a glass of water whether it was going to be a good day or not. That's not a personality trait. That is a survival skill learned in childhood because your emotional safety depended on tracking her. Sign number 3, she never apologized. Not once, not really. Because in her mind, she worked hard. She stayed. She provided. She didn't abort you. So what was there to apologize for? So you grew up in a home where adults were never wrong. This taught you that when something hurts you, oh, it has to be your fault. Sign number 4, she needed you to take care of her. Maybe she vented to you about your father. Maybe you were her emotional support system before you even knew what that meant. Maybe you learned that love in this family meant managing someone else's emotions and ignoring your own. Raise your hand if you still do that. Yeah, I thought so. Sign number 5, she was physically present and emotionally absent. This is the one that confuses people the most. She was there. She was in the house. She was cooking, cleaning, providing. Baby, she fed you real good. She showed up, but there was a wall, and you can never quite get to her. And you spent your whole childhood pressing against that glass, trying to figure out what was wrong with you that she couldn't let you in. Nothing was wrong with you. She just didn't know how to be present the way you needed. And that absence is the wound. Now let's bring the science into it because some of y'all out here talking about this is one of my flaws. No, baby, this is neurobiology. Here's what every child needs from their mother, and I mean every child, is something called co-regulation. That's just a fancy word for a calm, safe adult helping a child's nervous system learn how to calm itself down. When you were scared, you needed her to be steady so you could learn, okay, this is manageable. When you were overwhelmed, you needed her calm presence so your nervous system could learn, I can come down from this. But if she was unpredictable and if her mood was a threat, if asking for comfort made things worse, your nervous system never learned how to feel safe. It learned to stay alert, to scan, to anticipate, to never fully relax because relaxing in that house, it wasn't safe. And nobody told you that your nervous system came with you when you left. It's why you're jumpy. It's why you can't relax. It's why conflict feels like a five-alarm emergency when the disagreement is just about dinner. I want some sushi, cooked sushi, shrimp tempura. I want a shrimp tempura roll right now. Am I saying that right? Shrimp tempura. Anyway, it's why you're hyper vigilant in relationships, at work, and even in your own body. You're not anxious because something is wrong with you. Ooh, my anxiety. What? You are anxious because your body learned that anxiety was the only reasonable response to the environment that you grew up in. Not a diagnosis. It's not a life sentence, but it is something that has to be healed, not just managed. Real quick, if something I've said so far is hitting you, drop "She never made me feel safe" in the comments down below. Let me know you're here. And I want you to also see that you are not alone in this. I promise you, so many people are walking around with mother wounds. And until we start healing this thing, it's going to continue to pass on from generation to generation. Now, here's where it gets complicated because I know some of you are sitting here right now doing the thing where you go, well, she really did the best she could, Renisha. Microphone definitely went dead, but we're going to keep going, right? So you're doing the thing. Oh, she she really did the best she could, Renisha. Other people had it so much worse. You know, she kept a roof over my head, so I really shouldn't be complaining. Here's what I want to say with all of the love that I had in me. Both things can be true at the same time. Your mother can have done the best she could, and her best was not enough for what you needed. Other people could have had it worse, and what happened to you can have still left a mark. She can have kept the lights on, and you can still have grown up emotionally starving. That's the thing about emotional neglect. It's invisible. There's no bruise, no big event. Nobody else in the family even agrees it ever happened. And because the evidence is invisible, you became the evidence's only witness. Now you've been dismissing your own testimony for years. Can I tell you something that nobody else says? Your mother was probably emotionally neglected too. She likely never had a safe, attuned parent either. And she passed on not abuse, not cruelty, just an absence, an inability to give what she never receives. That does not excuse it, but it does explain it. And sometimes understanding the cycle is what finally gives you permission to stop blaming yourself. You were not too sensitive. You were not too needy. You were a child who needed to feel safe. And that is the most basic human need there is. All right. So I'm not going to leave you stuck in this wound. Let's talk about what actual healing is. Like real healing, not like let's talk about it every week and stay stuck in the same cycle healing. So I'll give you the what and a little bit of the why, but I have to be honest. The deep how is not something I can give you in a YouTube video. That's what the work is for. Step one, if you have been following me for a while, you already know what I'm going to say. Name it. You cannot heal what you refuse to call by name. Some of you are still stuck because you think, well, if I name it, I'm coming into agreement with it, and that gives it power over me. Absolutely not. Emotional neglect is real. The mother wound is real. Saying that out loud is not betraying her. It's finally telling yourself the truth. And some of you will vent to anybody that will listen when it comes to your mama, but you will not do the work of healing. I don't understand. Step two, grieve the mother you needed. This is the step people skip. They want to act like, and I've been there. Oh, it didn't affect me. Oh, I'm good. Nah, I'm gonna just suppress it. I know I'm good for real. You have to grieve her, not the mother you had, the one you needed, the one who would have made you feel safe. Until you grieve that gap, you're going to find yourself trying to close it with people who were never meant to fill it. Three, understand your nervous system. This anxiety is not a character flaw. It's a response pattern your body built in order to survive. When you understand why your system works the way it does, you stop fighting yourself and you start healing yourself. Step four, learn to co-regulate. Now, you didn't get it as a child, but you can get it as an adult through safe relationships, through community, through someone who can hold the space for you while you heal. I don't care what you've been told. Your nervous system can learn safety. It is not too late. Let me say that again. It is not too late for your nervous system to learn what safety feels like. Now, if you've been watching this video and just nodding your head, if you recognize your mother in what I described today, I want to tell you about something I built specifically for you. It's called the Mother Wound Recovery Suite. It is not some pep talk or just a bunch of affirmations to make you feel good. It is a structured resource for women who are ready to do what their family never did, actually heal. Inside, go through naming the wound, understanding emotional neglect, and why your body responds the way it does. Most importantly, how to stop these patterns so that you don't pass it down to your children. As a woman who survived a toxic mother, abuse in the church, and rejection, I didn't write this from a textbook. I wrote it from the other side of healing. I'm saying I wrote it, but it's really classes. Y'all get what I'm saying. It's a video series, but okay, so the link is in the description. It is waiting for you. If this video finally gave you the language for what happened, the suite is where you're going to go so that you know what to do with it. And if you're not ready for that yet, okay, you can grab my free guide called It Is Not Your Faith, It's Your Nervous System. Link is also in the description and you can start there. Let me say this before I go. The fact that you watched this entire video is not an accident. Something in you is ready. Something in you knew that you needed to hear this today. Don't ignore that. Drop a comment below. Tell me what hit. Tell me what you're feeling. Tell me if there is a specific angle you would like for me to talk about concerning this. But if I already covered it in the Mother Wound Recovery Suite, I'm just going to direct you there. And if this video helped you, I want you to share it. I promise you, somebody else is walking around with this exact wound and they don't have the language for it. Be the person who sends them this link. I love you and I'll see you in the next video.